Welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Leslie Weidenbender, and I'm here with Senator Rod Bray. He's a Republican lawmaker from Martinsville. Welcome, Senator.
Thanks for having me.
So you're in your first session.
That's
Tell
correct.
us about how things are going.
Well, so far so good. I really enjoy it, and I'm learning my way around the State House, and everybody's been very good to me in that regard, and I just find it very exciting and substantive, so I'm really enjoying myself.
What has been the biggest challenge you faced?
You know, the biggest challenge really is keeping up with the pace. When the bills come at you, of course, you need to read them and kind of be versed on them when you finally have to vote on them. Some of the things I know a lot about, so it doesn't take me very long, but there are certain areas that we deal with here in the State Senate that are new to me, and so trying to get up to speed on those issues is really a challenge, but it's a challenge I enjoy.
Senator, I know you were a supporter of the bill that the Governor Mike Pence signed into law. It was his very first bill about farmland. Can you tell us about that bill and why you supported it?
Yeah, a little bit. I think it's one of the more significant things that's come out of the Senate already, and I'm really excited that it's already gone to the governor's desk and been signed. I mean, it has a real impact on rural Indiana and small farmers. It's essentially going to be a savings of about $57 million to all the farmers here in Indiana. And what it does is it just indicates that we're going to stop and study the soil assessments for another year. We probably still need to address that going forward, but for now, that was a very good move for farmers here in Indiana.
So the House has passed a budget, sent it over to the Senate, where you all are getting ready to work on it. What are your priorities for the budget? Well,
you know, there's a couple of things. Since Indiana over the last number of years has kind of held the appropriations flat, there's a lot of need. It's exciting to see that there's maybe even over $1 billion surplus that's coming in as the current forecasts state, and obviously we'll know more in April when the most recent forecasts come out. But then on the other side of it, it's amazing how quickly people clamor for that money because there are real needs out there. I like the idea on the House's budget that there's a 2% increase for K through 12 education in the first year, a 1% in the second year. We're also giving higher education a little extra money, and those are real needs that have to happen. There are some additional needs as well, like we need to be able to address the approximately $150 million gap there is in road funding right now, since the gas tax isn't yielding as much as it used to. So there's some real needs, but I'm excited to have the chance to kind of make it go well.
One of the biggest decisions the legislature will make this year is whether to expand Medicaid. Where do you come down on that?
Well, it's just a really big decision, and right now the Senate has passed out a bill that kind of mirrors the governor's position that in a letter that he wrote to Catherine Sebelius, that asked the federal government to let us use our Healthy Indiana plan as the Medicaid expansion. I think that's consumer driven, and it's a good way to handle the real need that's there. The other request there was to send money back to the state of Indiana in a block grant, and it essentially says to the federal government, let Indiana handle this issue. We think we're better able to handle the nuance and the intricacies that Indiana has better than the federal government, and that's, I'd like to see it go that way.
And ultimately, do you think that's the way the General Assembly will come down on this?
Well, I think, I hope so, and I guess I think so, but it's going to depend a little bit on what the federal government says, and it's just awfully important, obviously, because there's so much money at stake. If we expand into the Medicaid to the 138% of the poverty level, it's going to be very expensive for us.
Senator, thank you so much for being with us.
Well, thanks for having me.
I'm Leslie Weidenbender with thestatehousefile.com and Comcast Newsmakers.